Me and Mom used to run around and do some real bad. They got hurt. Now they're coming after us. I'm sorry.
I didn't ask for this. That's just how the cards were rolled out for me.
It's not cards. You don't roll cards. It's dice.
Dad, what is wrong with you?
You're right. Let's go.
You're just going to want to watch this trailer, I know, but let me tell you what you're seeing. This is the action thriller One Battle After Another, directed by Paul Thomas Anderson. Big budget, all-star cast, Leonardo DiCaprio, Sean Penn, Benicio del Toro. And it follows a group of ex-revolutionaries who reunite to rescue Leonardo DiCaprio, one of their own daughters. I'm not going to tell you any more about this because Jackson has seen it. Every single person upstairs running our team in Master Control Jackson wants to see this, and we think that it's the only time that's ever happened. There is such excitement about this film. I'm looking forward to hearing what you think. What do we need to know about One Battle After Another?
I think the most important thing is that fact. I can't even express how much excitement this film has engendered. One thing that you do need to get prepared for, though, is it's kind of confusing and a little bit on purpose. We'll get to that in a little bit, but just to give you a little bit of a picture, we follow Leonardo DiCaprio as Bob Ferguson, except he's not actually Bob Ferguson. That is a code name, social security number, fake identity he's adopted after he was exposed because he had a girlfriend by the name of Perfidia Beverly Hills, played by Teyana Taylor. They were in this group called the French 75, this revolutionary group that would go into migrant centers and kidnap soldiers, would go into courtrooms and plant bombs, or go to banks and rob them for their fundraising, they would call it. And when that happened at this one unfortunate time, Teyana Taylor's character was caught. She flipped. All of the French 75 were exposed. Bob Ferguson, then known as Pat Calhoun, goes underground, flees to an area called Backton Cross with his young daughter. Now, when the movie really begins, 15 years down the line, you see the daughter there, Willa, played by Chase Infinity, and she is living unaware of her parents' very dark and political history. And then all of a sudden, who shows up but this man by the name of Colonel Lockjaw, played by Sean Penn. Now, he was after the French 75 15 years ago. He wanted to catch every single one of them. He lost most of their trails. He's now picked it back up, and he needs to catch them. He wants to catch them more than anything that he could possibly do. He gets to their house. Bob and Willa get separated. Bob needs to reactivate his contacts with all of these underground people, except, as we'll see in this clip, it's so action-packed, but as we'll see in this clip, things are a little bit more difficult for him and a little bit more ridiculous than what I'm making it sound like. So let's take a listen to what the problem is for Bob Ferguson.
My name is Bob Ferguson. I don't know if you've ever heard of me, all right? I was part of French 75 for years. I've fried my brain since then, man. I have abused drugs and alcohol for the past 30 years, man. I'm a drug and alcohol lover, and I cannot remember for the life of me or the life of my only child the answer to your question, what time is it?
8:15.
Now, I need this rendezvous point. You understand what I'm saying? I need it.
I understand. And the question is, what time is it?
So, I mean, it's very action-packed, but this is almost like a Looney Tunes meets No Country for Old Men type movie, maybe.
Okay, that's an interesting description, and it's all based on this. You know, our senior producer bringing in this Thomas Pynchon book, because this is the basis for all of this. When I talk about there are many people excited about it, they want to read the book too. This is the foundation for what we're seeing on the screen this week. Is that right?
Yes and no. I'll say yes, because it is very much adapted from Violin by Thomas Pynchon, a novel that is set in the 60s, or set in the 80s rather, about 60s revolutionary violence. But it is very, very, very loosely adapted. I'll say it because I have my own dog-eared copy over on the set down there. I am at the part of the book where we get to Godzilla showing up. So I'm going to say this book is very kind of out there. This just Paul Thomas Anderson, who adapted this novel. He's also adapted another Thomas Pynchon book, Inherent Vice. In Inherent Vice, he was very to the word. This is honoring what the story was. This one, he wanted to steal some aspects of it, and he does steal some aspects of it. Outside of that, this is very much out there. He got the blessing from Thomas Pynchon to go kind of crazy with it, most notably for the fact that, as I mentioned, mentioned, the book is about 60s revolutionary violence, 20 years past that when they are kind of floundering and not sure what to do anymore. This adapts it to present day, but kind of this eternal present. The movie starts off 15 years earlier than our current day, but it does seem very much like it could be right now. As I mentioned, there are migrant camps, they have masks on for COVID theoretically. This is not necessarily as rooted in a real history. In the 60s, we had groups like the Weather Underground, we had the BLA, the Symbionese Liberation Army, the FLQ, the Fallen. These things really did happen. This is a little bit more esoteric, a little bit more out there. And my take is that what Paul Thomas Anderson is trying to do is, instead of grounding it specifically in how disillusioned some of these groups really were in the Reagan years, it's more an analysis of how lost everyone feels right now and how systems of governments and culture can kind of make you feel disconnected from who you're actually supposed to be loyal to. There's a lot in there. I could unpack this movie for maybe an hour, but that's where I'd start, and I think it's so interesting how different it is from that book.
Well, it's also interesting how, as we said at the outset, how excited people are to get into the theaters today. I mean, they're calling it like this the perfect film, the film for a generation. Why?
This is a film that I think right now, if you look at Rotten Tomatoes, is about 130, 140 reviews on there. 2 of them are negative. So this is something that critical acclaim is an understatement. And I think it is this incredibly difficult but well executed mix of tone that Paul Thomas Anderson has executed. Tiana Taylor is always fantastic. If you've seen some of her earlier work, you know how talented she is. Chase Infinity, who plays that daughter, is so good. And then just the way that this movie melds satire and action. This movie was actually inspired more by just Paul Thomas Anderson wanting to do a car chase movie than even that book itself, and then put it together with some of these extrapolations you can take to our modern day. There's just so much to unpack, and it's never boring. That's the most important part. So
don't tell me you're giving it 1.5 stars. I'm just not interested in that. What's your rating?
I will say that there are some parts of it that I wish were a little bit more built out. I wish it was a little bit more fulsome with its political analysis, but I think it's so impressive, even given that 4 out of 5 stars, and that's me being maybe one of the most negative critics on this movie.
I was going to say, I don't think I've ever seen a 4 on this one so far, but
so
that's
good, though.
Okay. It's so good.
Yeah, it is so good.
In theaters today. Thank you, Jackson. One battle after another arriving to such anticipation.